What is this?
What the? Yo, it's moving! It's moving!
Graphene is my best bet for the next disruptive technology. For the next disruptive technology.
QBE has warned that the use of graphene could have a number of side effects on human health. Scientists have suggested the material could potentially get into the human body with ease.
Is putting in the gel. This is dispensing this gel that has graphene oxide. Why I'm doing this? Why a citizen should be doing this in Canada? Isn't this a job for Health Canada? Things are dangerous. This is unacceptable. I want them to tell them if they are watching this, they will be accountable. We the people will take the power back, and we will make tribunals and punish everybody who's been complicit of this.
This project started because the government was interested in developing better ways for us to connect to the brain. So we have this massive amount of data coming in, massive amount of data trying to go out. And they've been thinking, how can we make it more efficient for us to communicate? Normally, when we think about tapping into people's brains, we're like, whoa, hold on a minute. Like, I don't want to have some kind of surgical implant or microchip or something like that. And it's really not a viable way forward if we're just talking about a healthy subject or a healthy person, a healthy soldier trying to control his or her drone better. And so, given this fact that we want to be able to communicate more quickly with our external device, we don't want to have surgery. Can we come up with a non-surgical way?
And with that, John Mark from Haydale, based in the UK. John Mark, if you want to go ahead and start using the screen, and we're going to hear about Haydale's extensive experience in the field of functionalizing graphene.
Whereas, if we can functionalize the material, we will see the correct compatibility with the formulation and interaction with the matrix.
I happened to stumble across something that's really mind-boggling, so this next part, get ready. I was looking up this whole thing with graphene, and guess what I found? Check this out. Plasmons and demons in graphene. Hot chicken and turkey fish is even deeper than we thought. Let me read you more of it. It says, besides the higher frequency mode, which is familiar plasmon, which is basically quantum light of the optical light, graphene should support a lower frequency mode, which is variously referred to as the sound acoustic plasma and energy wave, as we prefer the demon. The demon can be studied using relativistic hydrodynamic approach. We discuss linear and nonlinear phenomena enabled by the demons and how they're observed in nano-optic experiments. We're talking, this is from Harvard EDU, not just some random website. So again, this is what they're putting out. And they symbolically show Greta Thunberg on one of the magazines with black goo on her face. Looks just like graphene. Why would they do that? This is symbolic in a dark way, in this dark reality we face. And there's gonna be more cleansing needed than just detox. They're also using plasma frequencies to make it more impermeable and more basically submerging. We'll show you that.
These machines are developed, ready for high volume manufacturing. You can see in the final cut of this video, we have a high volume, stable plasma consistently treating graphene and functionalizing the surface. The vial on the left demonstrates the graphene challenge well. Now, industry have been working with this, overcoming it either with high loading, additives such as surfactants, high shear mixing, and other methods. These all increase costs in manufacturing and impact on quality. On the right is the same material, same amount, treated with our HT60 lab scale reactor. This is less power than the kettle. Now, this is the required functional groups that want to interact with the matrix. Thus, the property of graphene is unlocked. Functionalized power supplier. The graphene challenge requires more of a wider scope of understanding.
DARPA calls it transhumanism, military transhumanism. But in an interesting way, this is actually part and parcel of the whole movement towards robotics. It's not only making individual warfighters comfortable with robots, it's this idea of coupling man and machine and merging humans and machine. And DARPA is doing that with programs now with what they call biohybrids, which people might call cyborgs. You know, they are able to actually control a rat through a labyrinth remotely because they've implanted electrodes in its brain. They can do the same with a moth. DARPA in 2014 created a steerable moth by inserting electrodes in the pupa stage of the moth, which then transformed. The wings came out, and this part of the machinery is now part of the animal system. DARPA is able to steer a moth.
Okay, so I have a sanitary napkin here. See how thin it is? All right. If you notice, it has the 3D sides on it. The sides are amazing, the protective sides, okay? Now, if you notice, nothing happens, right? It's a 7-watt light bulb. If you take it, and you open this up, here's the strip. Nothing happens. Once it gets wet, put it in the water. Once the graphene is infused strip, boom, it works.
All right, what are we looking at here?
So based on everything that we talked about last time and what we've just seen, what would you say that this is similar to what we've just seen?
Again,
this is actually from an anesthetic for dental work. So this is my appeal to the entire microscope army. It's not just it's in a bunch of other products, and I think we need to get a whole army of people with microscopes starting to look at every single product that may be going into the human body to make sure that it's clean.
Have we had a closer look at this? Does it look like graphene ribbons?
Looks a lot like them.
Okay.
It looks like there's some things that I haven't seen, but at least this hints at other products could be at risk, which means the people who use those products could be at risk.
People in one River Ridge neighborhood are concerned about large, light-colored dust particles raining down on them in the middle of the night. They're not sure what it is, but claim it has a pungent smell and is making people sick.
And neighbors here point to a barge loading operation on the river as a possible source for mysterious particles in the air. It may look like snow, but it's not. The video shows large particles in the air blanketing Rex Drive in River Ridge. Kelly Knowles shot the video from his driveway Monday night.
October 29th was the worst amount of dust particles I ever seen in my life. I actually physically got sick that morning, and the next day I had congestion, my nose was running, eyes burning.
Knowles has been shooting videos like this since May. JP Councilman Paul Johnston is pushing state and federal authorities to investigate neighbors' concern.
And how we just have been told that this stuff has been dispersed, but yet we just look past it. So it, to me, looked at like what they call graphene particles that shine like quantum dots. It says these small flakes, just like snow, right? Which are often only 2 to 3 layers of carbon atoms thick, could be less toxic alternative to the metal-based quantum dots.
Researchers have studied the effects of graphene oxide, which is made when the material is exposed to air. They found it moves through water with ease, raising concern about the effects it could have on people. A study from Brown University in the US revealed that the edges of graphene could pierce cell membranes in human immune cells, lungs and skin. In turn, this could let it get into other cells and disrupt their functions. It's uncertain what long-term effects graphene could have on people.
We discovered that a key parameter is to orient the graphene vertically. If it is horizontal, the bacteria are not harmed, says Ivan, professor at the Department of Biology and Biological Engineering. So basically, at different ways they put it, it starts to go in and take out certain things. Here's what they say in this report. Good bacteria are also killed by graphene, but that's not a problem as the effects is localized and the balance of the microflora in the body remains undisturbed. So how are you going to tell us, how are you here and tell us, well, don't worry, we're just taking out the good bacteria, which is basically your probiotics. Bacteria is very important, but it goes even further with the graphene kill switch. So moving on into this part, researchers operate lab-grown heart cells by remote control. Graphene surface allows researchers to control cell behavior. Researchers have developed a technique that allows them to speed up or slow down a human heart cell growing in a dish on command by simply shining a light on them and varying its intensity. The cells are grown in graphene, which converts the light to electricity, providing a more realistic environment in standard plastic glass lab. Here's the information to the detox, which we told you. And this video was banned. You definitely want to check out the deep info that they didn't want you to know, but I got to reinstate it because I fought to get it back. Please check this out. And the only way we can get the greater collective to know what's going on in this battle and have a fighting chance is if you can share this out everywhere that you possibly can to spread this link. This is a battle for the future, the spiritual future, and also our physical bodies.